Hey guys and gals, Mrs. Weedle here, and I have some exciting news. We have decided to play off the whole March Madness basketball theme, and we're going to be doing a March Reading Madness here at the middle school. So, what does that mean? Well, that means that there is a bracket created. Ooh, we'll get more to that later. And that means that you're going to be having teams versus other teams, kids versus kids in their reading challenges, and even staff members are going to be involved in this. So kids versus teachers and staff members. Ooh, who's going to win? Exciting, exciting. So, some things to note with it. One, there are some rules. So, there are going to be time periods that you complete your books, and your books need to be completed during that time period. You will need to complete a book survey just like you've been doing all year long during those select time periods. And those books do need to be chapter books. And then make sure that you answer things in race method like we've talked about all along for the year. Same rules apply if it is a larger chapter book, like a 300-page book, then it'll count as two chapter books for this. And you just need to make sure that you answer two questions on your survey about that book. And then at the conclusion of each round, we are going to update the brackets. So there'll be a big updated bracket on the fifth grade side of the building and also one on the sixth grade side so you can see what's going on. And maybe even during morning announcements on those days, we'll announce who is going into the next round. So the time periods, round one starts today and it goes until Sunday. And then the bracket will be updated Monday. So that is February 24th through March 2nd. And the groups that win that will move on to round two. Round two will be March 3rd through March 9th. And again, whoever wins that round will move on. Now, round three is longer because spring break does happen during that time. So it is March 10th through the 23rd. And then those groups will move on to that final round, which will then just be team versus team. And there'll be a fifth grade team versus a sixth grade team. So even if your team is out, you can be cheering on your fellow fifth graders or your fellow sixth graders to help win the overall bracket within it. The last round is smaller. It is March 24th through the 27th. So, yes, that only gives you 3 or 4 days to get in those last books. But big reason is because all of the winners on that will be announced at the March Assembly, Student of the Month Assembly, which will be that 28th, March 28th. So, for those of you that are like, well, but Mrs. Weedle, if my team gets out in round one, then why would I continue reading? Well, it's because there are prizes weekly and then overall. So, what do these prizes look like? Well, each week, the team with the highest weekly reading volume is going to get a prize. So, something like that might include, I don't know, some Whataburger coupons or some Sonic corn dogs, something like that, something that you want to be a part of. The student with the highest weekly volume will also get a prize. So, even if your team is out, you can still be that student with the highest weekly volume. So don't give up on that. And staff, don't worry, I've remembered you too, because the staff member with the highest weekly volume will also get a prize. So, like I said, even if your team is out, they're still encouraging you to read, and this is what we can do. We're still going to be doing weekly prizes, even if your team is out. So, a team, yes, with the highest weekly volume will get a prize, but also those students and staff members with their highest. Now, overall, if your team wins, you are going to get a beautiful March Reading Madness trophy to display for all to see. And you will be awarded that again at the Student of the Month Assembly. But there's more. You also are going to get a 30-minute makery space time in the library. We'll get that set up with your teachers. 30 minutes with all the makery items. I'll get them all out. It'll be awesome. And then on top of that, the top student from each grade level is also going to be rewarded. How are we going to be rewarded? We're going to have a beautiful individual reading trophy that said you were the top reader on fifth grade for March Madness or for sixth grade for March Madness. And staff members, there's one for you too. Hey! And last but not least, the student on each team with the highest volume. So even if your team got out round one, but you are the kid on the team that still had the highest reading volume for your team, you are going to be invited to the candy bash. Wait, Mrs. Weedle, what is a candy bash? Well, let's just say a certain someone has purchased a pinata full of candy for these kids to hit, and candy falls down and rewarded with candy from it. So you want to be a part of it. I'm so excited to get this March Reading Madness going. Please let me know if you have any questions at all, and happy reading.